Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm going to go ahead and continue this series of when bodybuilders and bodybuilding coaches do not even know how to perform basic exercises correctly. Now, I was going to do Cali muscle this week, but someone else sent me a video, a friend of mine. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. This one is actually Simian Panda. There's a reason I'm saying the name here, because under British copyright laws, me giving credit to who the person is, I may use their copyrighted works and their real name for the purposes of critique or review. And we are definitely going to critique this shit today. Now, for the first time out of any of these I've done with a squat, at least this person is going deep. I actually like the fact that he's doing high bar and going deep. I will give credit where credit is due. I like the fact he's using a respectable amount of weight to go deep with high bar. But let's watch where everything goes wrong.
Come on! Let's go!
Boy, boy,
Come on!
boy, boy.
Up! Push!
Hey,
Yeah,
where my foot?
Come on!
Hey,
Up! Oh! Let it go forward, let it go. You alright?
Yeah. It's really that bad. Alright guys. On this one we're going to nail both the lifter and we're going to nail the spotter, because both of them are sharing equal parts in the stupidity here. Neither one of these guys should be putting up material, giving people advice on how to train, because they're going to hurt people. The problems, first of all, I see a guy who is known purely for his physique, not a powerlifter, doesn't compete in powerlifting, using really good high-grade knee wraps. You don't need to be using knee wraps unless you compete in powerlifting. They're going to give you a higher chance of injury with no benefits other than allowing you to lift more weight. And it's not because your muscles are lifting more weight, it's because the knee wraps themselves are accelerating you out of the bottom. They're doing the work, not your muscles, to get you started out of the bottom, which is the weakest part of the lift. Now, the first issue when the spotter, if I was spotting this guy, I would have said, hey, walk it back in. You're either too exhausted from previous sets or you're just using a weight that's too heavy for yourself, because he's walking out just shaking. He's shaking really bad coming out. That's a sign he probably should have racked it at that point. Instead, he drops down, ass to grass, and you'll notice when he comes out of the bottom, he literally has no power. Had he done that same lift with no knee wraps, the very first rep, he would have been stapled to the floor. It would have been over. The fact that he has those really high-end knee wraps, which are giving him at least 30 kilos, if not more, coming out of the bottom on his lift, allowed him to get the weight started. But notice he stops almost immediately. The spotter grabs him. If you notice how much the spotter is shaking and flexing, bringing him up, saying up, the spotter is taking over 100 pounds of that weight. The spotter lifted that, not the lifter. The knee wraps got him started out of the bottom, and he was not strong enough to even follow through once he got up about 8 inches out of the bottom from the knee wraps accelerating him. He had no strength of his own at that point. The spotter was taking a tremendous amount of the load, helping him lift it up. Now the fact is, the guy has no sense at that point, because they know that they are squatting an Olympic stance. Olympic lifters use those type of stands because they do not train to failure. They do not attempt reps that they are going to miss, and if they do, they just bail out of it. They're used to bailing out of lifts. You don't do that sort of bailout with a spotter. If you're going to bail out from a squat like that from behind, which is what Olympic lifters usually do, you do it with bumper plates on a platform, no spotter, so that the weight just bounces and hits nobody. So that is what that setup is designed for. You should not be attempting reps that you're going to miss. At that point, the spotter should have walked him back in. When he said again, the spotter should have screamed no, walked him back in. Because at that point, if the spotter doesn't run out of the way and continues to help him, if he tried to walk him back in and he stays there knowing they have nothing to catch the weight, he knows that he is going to fail the rep. He couldn't lift it the first time. There was no point in even trying a second rep. Yet he does it anyways, knowing there's a zero chance he's going to lift it, because he exhausted himself on either previous sets or on that first rep that he wasn't strong enough to do. The lifter and the spotter are both to blame. They're both idiots. Neither one of them should be giving examples of how to train to people, purely because examples like this is going to ingrain in people's heads, young impressionable lifters, that training like a dumbass that gets yourself and gets your spotters injured is actually hardcore training, when in fact it isn't. It's hardcore stupidity. It has no place for anyone who is a serious athlete with serious goals. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. Oh, Mount Vesuvius.